the 175, and you can see he's very different. He can do nothing with a fighter who retired in 2019 and coming with two easy fights.
David Benavidez gets an earful from the Mexican champion Canelo Alvarez for his controversial win against Oleksandr Gvozdyk. David Benavidez made his first debut at 175 pounds to beat the Ukrainian Oleksandr Gvozdyk and won by a grueling 12 rounds unanimous decision. Meanwhile, Oleksandr Gvozdyk praised Benavidez for his punching speed and boxing talent. Oleksandr talks about the size of David, and he also admitted that he sparred with him in the past.
He throws a lot of combinations, very fast hand speed, good ability to absorb punches. His size, he's actually big, like he moved up from 168, but he's not smaller than me. We're like same size, even though like I'm not a small light heavyweight. So
you guys sparred each other before, right?
Yes.
Gvozdyk admitted that Benavidez completely dominated him in sparring. Oleksandr explained that he doesn't want to make any excuses that he came from Ukraine and had jet lag before the session. He said that even though David won the sparring session, he is a completely different person, which Oleksandr showed in the ring. While talking about his fight, David said, "I went up in weight, won every single round, and dominated a former world champion and an Olympian as well." David further explained why he couldn't knock the Ukrainian beast Oleksandr. "I had him hurt a couple of times. I wasn't throwing a lot of combinations because I re-injured my hand in the third round. I tore my right ligament 4 weeks before the fight, and I hurt my left hand in camp. I'm proud of myself because I also got a cut 3 weeks ago, and I pushed through and gave the fans a good fight." Gvozdyk further said that he doesn't know how Benavidez managed to stay at 168 pounds because he is even bigger at 175. Oleksandr believed that he is better than David now, more than ever. Furthermore, Gvozdyk revealed that he also sparred with Canelo Alvarez. He added on Canelo's ability to fight. "He is a very smart, very good defense, I think he is one of the pound best fighters for a reason. Hits really hard, so it was a great experience." Gvozdyk said that Benavidez hits way harder than Canelo, and he is not even a light heavyweight. He is more of a cruiserweight. Oleksandr further commented that Canelo is faster, and he has a lot of other tricks in his bag. He mentioned that Canelo's speed, defense, and footwork are top-notch. Oleksandr also said that David's footwork is terrible, which he actually used to his advantage in the fight. The victory over Oleksandr Gvozdyk strengthens Benavidez's case to challenge undisputed super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez in a fight that fans have loudly been clamoring for in recent years. The reigning 168-pound king has made it clear that fighting Benavidez would require a major payday because he believes the 27-year-old would have a significant size advantage if they met in the ring. Canelo demanded a huge sum of money to fight Benavidez, and he also mentions the reason, "All I see is that Benavidez weighs 25 or 30 pounds more than I do on the day of the fight. I have no problem with that, but if you want me to fight with him, it's $200 million." Benavidez revealed that Canelo is clearly ducking him because he wants so much money to fight him. He also explains what he actually brings to the table.
"I'm not scared of nobody. I've hurt everybody that's been in front of me, and Canelo's no different. And I will hurt him too, and I'll take all his belts. It's crazy that he asked for 150 million or 200 million to fight me, but he still has the nerve to say that I don't bring nothing to the table. So if I didn't bring nothing to the table, why are you asking for more money than you won in your whole career if I don't mean anything? Maybe after he gets that money, he can buy himself a pair of balls."
David further added that Canelo doesn't care about the fans. Alvarez is not going to give the fans the best fights. He wants to fight who he wants and no one else. Canelo has a huge fan following, which may even resemble an entire cult, and most of them don't even care who Alvarez fights. Adding to this debate, Benavidez said that anyone who understands boxing knows that Benavidez versus Canelo is the best fight that could possibly happen. Benavidez further revealed that Canelo is not complying to make the fight happen. He said that Alvarez is charging so much money from his fans that it seems absurd.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I said, I did everything in my power possible to make this fight happen. If it's not happening, it's because of Canelo, 100%. And what I wanted to tell you guys too, this guy, he's making the most money out of everybody. He's charging you guys so much for the pay-per-views. It's like he's spitting in your guys' face, saying that he doesn't give a f.
David commented on why Canelo should fight him. "At the end of the day, if you hold all the titles, you gotta fight the best in the division. I'm number 1 in the division. Number 1 contender, the second one, is David Morrell. He's not fighting me, nor he is not fighting David Morrell." David Benavidez declared that Canelo has no right to call himself champion because he is not fighting the number 1 or number 2 guy in the division. He said that Canelo is disrespecting the fans and he is disrespecting the sport. Jake Paul also explained the reason why Canelo is not fighting David Benavidez. He said that Alvarez doesn't want his glory to fade overnight against a beast that is not known.
A lot of boxers don't do this. This is why Canelo is not fighting Benavidez. Why would Canelo fight Benavidez, who's relatively unknown, and Benavidez beats him, and Benavidez becomes overnight a superstar. That's Canelo's letting Benavidez make a name off of him.
Wait, so you're saying that you're going to make Conor McGregor?
Edgar Berlanga, who also happens to be Canelo's next opponent, recently slammed Canelo Alvarez for ducking David Benavidez. He said that Alvarez just declared that David is a better fighter than him.
And you soft. Deep down inside in that little heart, you soft. I just seen a thing he said, an interview. I was like, nah, this dude's crazy. He just put out an interview saying that he's a good fighter. He's a dangerous fighter. He's big. He comes over 20 pounds. I'm like, yo, bro, you just made yourself look like the biggest in boxing.
Berlanga was of the view that Benavidez is the same as Canelo, so it makes no difference. He said that just like David will jump up 20 pounds on fight night, Canelo will also jump up the same amount, so it doesn't even matter. Edgar continued to insult Alvarez for ducking Benavidez. Has pussy, has pussy, has pussy. Here it's now. He's super pussy. Meanwhile, Canelo Alvarez and David Benavidez have a huge beef going around ever since David wanted to fight the Mexican champion. Canelo Alvarez recently slammed David Benavidez for his lackluster performance against Oleksandr Gvozdyk, proving his animosity against the Titan, David Benavidez. Canelo commented, "I think that's his weight class 175 lbs. And you can see he's very different. He can't do nothing with a fighter who retired in 2019. It's different when you're in your weight class and fighting with guys in your weight." Fans were furious at Canelo talking bad about David Benavidez, so they responded with their own assumptions for Alvarez. One boxing critic mentioned, "I think Canelo still has amnesia from when he went up to 175. It was even more humbling, at least Benavidez clearly won." Another fan supported Canelo's remarks on Benavidez. He said that Benavidez would get smoked at 175 or 200 pounds. David should be fighting at heavyweight, not light heavyweight. On the contrary, David Benavidez had some disturbing remarks of his own against Canelo Alvarez. He said that the best version of Canelo, who used to knock people out, was on steroids.
When the greatest Canelo came out, the one that you guys seen that fought Triple G the first time, bro, dude popped dirty for clenbuterol, bro. Why do you think the second fight didn't happen? So, for me, seeing that was the best Canelo I've ever seen. But that was Canelo off of steroids. Everybody else that he fought Amir Khan, he fought Daniel Jacobs, he fought, what the is his name? Billy Joe Saunders, Caleb Plant. These guys are all weak, bro.
David revealed that he doesn't see Canelo as good as everybody thinks he is. Benavidez shockingly shared that the best version of Canelo, who fought Gennady Golovkin the first time, was on steroids. Canelo got suspended for more than 7 months after his fight with Golovkin. Canelo made excuses for his ban, saying that he ate meat which was contaminated by PEDs. David confirmed from officials that for Canelo to test positive over a piece of meat, he would have to consume an entire stock of animals. On the other hand, Canelo Alvarez compared both Bivol and Benavidez as his opponents. He was unsure as to which fighter is better, but he considers himself better than both.
I don't know. I need to find out, right? I think what I already experienced, Bivol is a great fight. It's a top fight, but Benavidez, we don't know. We need to find out, right? First.
Do you see a lot of weaknesses in Benavidez, seeing that fight against Plant?
He's a good fighter. But look, I'm a great fighter, so.
Legendary.
One man who agrees with the public that Canelo is ducking the Mexican monster is Canelo's former opponent, Floyd Mayweather. Mayweather handed the 33-year-old Alvarez his first ever career defeat back in 2013 when he controlled the action and won a decision on the scorecards. Floyd gave his honest opinion on the situation that Canelo might be ducking Benavidez. "If it was up to me, like, we keep on saying we want to see Benavidez. Canelo is a hell of a fighter, but in my personal opinion is that he's ducking Benavidez, and that's just my personal opinion. And I'm allowed to speak my mind. That's just what it is. We want to see Benavidez. Let's make it happen." Canelo once again talked about why he doesn't want to fight Benavidez. He said that it's not the case of the weight disparity. Rather, it's about the money. Previously, Alvarez shunned His Excellency Turki Al Sheikh, saying that he doesn't want to talk about any other fight because he is focused on Edgar Berlanga for now. Pro boxer Kyrone Davis is one of the few people that has fought both Canelo and David Benavidez. He compared both fighters by saying that David's timing and reach are good, whereas Canelo's punching power is off the charts.
David Benavidez is long, his timing is good, high octane offense, and you know Canelo, he got that. He got gut and punching power. He's slick. He's always doing things on his timing. Both great fighters, you know. So, you know, I know everybody wants to see that fight happen. So obviously, I hope that happens.
Cerrone commented that if David and Canelo both fight each other, then that will be a fireworks fight. Davis explained that Canelo punches way harder than David, which gives an accurate understanding of both of their powers. He also said that Benavidez can hurt his opponent as well, but in comparison to Canelo, he doesn't win. On the other hand, David Benavidez talked about Oleksandr Gvozdyk. He said that Oleksandr is a really nice guy, not like most people who are trash talkers. David revealed that it was a really tough task to beat Gvozdyk, and he knew that as well. Oleksandr Gvozdyk had a few remarks of his own after his loss to David. "I obviously wish we got a different decision tonight. I wish I had done a little more and been more active in the early rounds of the fight. I think the scores were pretty accurate. It was a good fight, a close fight. He was better in the first half of the fight, but I think I started doing better in the second half. I'd love a rematch with him." Benavidez grew tired of waiting for his shot at the 168-pound belts and has decided to stay at light heavyweight to face the winner of the undisputed clash between Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol in October. David Benavidez talked about his next possible opponents. He said that Bivol and Beterbiev are both great fighters, but he sees Bivol winning the fight.
I think it's going to be a great fight for both men. They both have to be extremely ready. This is a hard fight for both of them. I'm kind of leaning again with Bivol. Bivol is a great boxer and he has punching power. And then Beterbiev, I think he's a little bit older. I think his body's breaking down a little bit. He works really hard. I don't take nothing away from him, but he does a lot of weights.
Benavidez further added that Beterbiev is really aging, so Bivol may have the edge in the fight. He also mentioned that he will be fighting the winner of the Bivol versus Beterbiev bout. David Benavidez shared that he deserves the Canelo fight since he has been proving himself in previous fights. He also commented that everybody wants to fight Canelo. Even Crawford and Naoya Inoue would want to fight him.
Crawford throwing his hat in to want to fight Canelo at 168.
I mean, everybody wants to fight Canelo. It's the money fight. You know what I mean? I think even Inoue would come up to fight Canelo. Canelo wanted to fight him. I mean, I don't want to see Crawford to fight Canelo, to be honest with you. But it would be. I'm not saying it wouldn't be a great fight. It'd be a great fight. But I feel like if I deserve my opportunity.
Benavidez shared that if he doesn't get the opportunity to fight Canelo, then he will establish himself at 175 pounds. He said that he doesn't want any handouts. He wants to earn his position as a top contender at the light heavyweight division. Meanwhile, Bivol explained that Benavidez is a great fighter, and he seems really confident that he can go up against him and Beterbiev.
I heard sometimes, from people. I didn't see his interviews, to be honest. But I respect him as a fighter. He's a really great fighter. And what he's saying that he wants to fight me and Beterbiev, it means that he's a great fighter. He's confident and he wanna achieve more and more.
Bivol remembered the times when he sparred with Benavidez. He said that David scored a few good shots, and then he scored a few good shots. He shared that sparring is just sparring, so a real fight would be very different. David Benavidez got really frustrated for not getting the big fights, which is why he moved up in weight. Bivol said that Benavidez knows something about Canelo, which allowed him to take the difficult decision of moving up in weight. Bivol offered Benavidez some crucial advice. He said that David should stop wasting his time on Canelo and move forward with progressing his career. Bivol added, "Guys don't wait anybody for so long, just create your own way and move forward." What are your thoughts on Benavidez and Canelo? Did Benavidez perform well against his last opponent? Let us know in the comments section below and subscribe for more content like this.